You're a day late.
And whose fault is that?
Well, come on, don't be that way. Give me a kiss. Look, it's Paul's birthday present. It's a picture album of my life. It's the best birthday present ever. It's so romantic. He said he started a year ago after my... Be careful!
Read it to me.
To my lovely Beth, the best is yet to be. Love, Paul.
Was. So, where is he?
He left this morning.
Argument?
No, quite the opposite. We've never been better.
You're such a liar.
No, I'm not. I asked him to leave.
You kicked him out, you mean?
No, I didn't kick him out. I simply said I needed some time to myself, that's all. We need to talk.
So, what else is new? Everyone's here.
Look! It's an old portrait postcard of my old high school. They tore it down years ago to make way for the new superhighway. Grandma Rose? I don't even know how he got a hold of that one. A whole year and not a single word.
Even Brian's rock band. You hated that band.
No, I didn't.
He was a lawyer.
The world has enough unhappy lawyers.
He was no happy rocker either. Miserable punk. All coked up, screwing nymphets, and slapping you around.
That doesn't hurt anymore. I'm over it. I'm entitled to one mistake.
You mean two.
One
mistakes.
mistake! I was such a lovely bride. I'd say so myself. I was so thin.
You look okay. Married twice. Practice makes perfect.
You always include Steve. I told you he doesn't count. We weren't married. I'm sorry, but it doesn't.
So why does Brian count?
Because we were married.
But he was an asshole.
Hey!
Your own words.
I've redeemed myself in Paul. He proposed last night.
Sounds like good news.
Isn't it?
So what's the problem?
Problem? What problem? I simply wanted to share the good news.
Will you give it up?
He proposed last night. He asked me to marry him. I wanted to talk to you first. Please don't spoil this. You always ruin everything. But this time it's different. I'm in love. And I feel love.
What do you know what it means to be loved?
You've changed, you know that? Over the years, you've gotten so malignant.
I've always been honest.
But it's true. I've never been happier.
Liar! The truth is, you're gonna mess it up somehow because you're scared shitless. You've always been scared and you always blame me.
I want peace! I just want peace! I'm not the same person I was the last time you were here.
Then prove it!
Once a rabid agnostic, now look at me. I've developed a spiritual life I didn't know I was capable of. A devout Catholic? There's something to be said for surviving cancer. Last year, I didn't know I'd be around to celebrate it, and now I live every day like it's my last. And I mean it.
Except when it comes to me. You still have no pictures of me. You still haven't told Paul about me. So what's so different this time?
Be reasonable. How can I have pictures of you?
He's got one of Steve. You said he didn't count.
For God's sakes! It's a class picture. Of course Steve's in it. I knew it. Why can't you just leave me alone?
But it's you who call me. And always the same words. And I say, okay. Go on. Send me back. Go on. Do it.
You think I can't? You think I can't? Get out! Get out!
All Aren't you tired of it? I am. This Paul, I believe he's different. I know he's in love with you and you're in love with him. He nursed you back to health. He's patient. He's fucking good in bed. In fact, I'm surprised.
Why? I don't deserve him? Is that what you mean? I better not screw it up this time or I won't find another man like him? Is that what you mean?
What about children? Does he want any?
No. He's got his own, all grown up.
So he's perfect. You're still wasting time. Finish it.
That's what Paul said. He said exactly those same words. Except it's he who's running out of time. It's now or never, he said.
Maybe something different will happen this time around.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. It will come to me.
No! No! Not the same words! You always say the same thing! Maybe after I've had my coffee. I'm not human until I've had my coffee!
No! Absolutely not! That's how it starts. A drink, coffee, there's always something. The next thing you know, I have to get the hell out of here and nothing will have been accomplished.
You're right.
Good. Why don't you start for a change?
Are you sure?
No, but do it anyway.
Mom and Dad were in the middle of a divorce. And I was hanging out with Steve Michaels.
Stevie the dick man, Stevie the prick man.
You said you'd try something different. You're always so crude. I remember when you were younger. You were so sweet, so innocent, so gentle.
I was a baby. All babies are sweet and innocent. If they came out talking, no one would want them. Stevie the dick man, Stevie the prick man.
Stop it! He was your father!
Ain't no good asshole son of a bitch father. You know what it's like. I have to be cruel in order to be kind.
But you're never kind!
Stevie the dick man and Betsy the slut.
Go to hell!
Come on. You can do this one. You stood up to chemo.
I can't handle your rage.
Frustration! You weren't even in love with him. You didn't even enjoy it.
We were young. We were both virgins.
And stupid. You were both stupid.
What did we know?
You should have known plenty. It was the 80s, for God's sakes.
Stop it. Why do you have to do it this way?
It's called tough love. Happy birthday.
Please, I'll leave it alone. I promise.
But you can't leave it alone. I don't trust you anymore. Don't you get it? Go on. You were angry, messed up, confused.
Stop. I'll go back to therapy. I promise.
You stopped that years ago. Don't you think I know that? That small hick town? The only thing you were looking forward to in your life was getting away from there?
The only thing I look forward to was to see the world. Leave everything behind. Mom, Dad, that filthy house, and the smell of drink.
And Stevie was the only person that made it bearable. And then came summer of '87. What a bummer.
I had to go to New York. I couldn't take the risk of anyone seeing me.
But it took so long for you to make up your mind. By the time
No,
you went to...
please, no!
We always
Please, no!
stop here.
Please!
I'm not
Please,
going to do this again.
please, no! No! No!
You were past the first trimester! There. That wasn't so bad now, was it? What do you want?
I want you to stop haunting me!
Don't you think that's up to you?
I want to be healed!
Why? Were you free? Don't you believe that you were free?
Yes! But just because I was free doesn't mean I didn't do anything wrong. Sometimes freedom and doing the right thing, they're not the same.
What did you do that was so wrong? Beth? What did you do that was so wrong? You want me to say it? Say it! Say it!
I killed you! I pushed you out of my body! that's happened in my life, every single wrong, is because of it. God was punishing me. That's why lovers came and went. I deserved it. That's why Brian abused me. I deserved it. I had cancer. I deserved it. Even now, I don't think I'm worthy of Paul.
Give me a proper burial.
What?
Give me a proper burial.
I don't know what you mean.
I don't either. It just popped out. This is scary.
You're scared.
We've never gone this far before. Hold me.
What do we do now?
Boy or girl? Choose.
I don't know.
Boy or girl? Choose.
Boy. You were always a boy.
What do I look like?
You've got big brown eyes. And Stevie's small.
Give me a name. Choose.
I don't know.
Give me a name. Choose.
David.
I like it. David.
I'm sorry. I never loved you. Forgive me.
I forgive you.
I'm sorry I don't have any pictures of you.
But you're right. I was never there. So let it be.
What?
Everything in this book has brought you here to this very moment. Change one thing, change one tiny thing, you wouldn't be here right now. You wouldn't have met Paul, this man who loves you. This loving man who promises you the best is yet to be. Goodbye, Beth. Have a good life.
Goodbye, David.
Yeah, Sean.
Simon.
Sean Dare Khan.
Simon Khan.
You really let some nice, hard-working Baptist parents down when you embarked in this life of crime, did it?
If you please.
I don't care, see? We all let somebody down somewheres. Your folks still living?
What?
Or your folks still living?
I don't have to tell you anything.
You don't have to tell me anything, right? It's Brooklyn, if memory serves. Yeah. A lot of you cons in Brooklyn. But I remember. Flatbush Avenue, right? Didn't I have to bust you there once? Yeah. Used goods.
I want to call my attorney.
He's in bed.
And so are my parents.
I know. The same bed. 50 years now. Where the fuck do you sleep?
Really?
All over town, I know. Well, Sean.
You're a bum, officer. Of all the low-grade morons, operatives in the various departments of your department, you have an odor, officer, of a bum.
And you're just a punks. So it's 682-7738, is that correct? Is that correct?
No.
You know what, I'm gonna have your father call an attorney. He might know somebody, family friend, who'll work cheap.
Hang up the phone. Don't call. Just hang up the phone.
So you'll talk.
I'll talk. I'll talk.
I'm listening, Sean. I'm all ears for the talk.
Obviously.
Obviously, you're not quite making music yet.
Obviously. What I wanted to tell you,
Was
the boy that I was arrested with in there
Jimmy?
is a very disturbing young man. Very deeply disturbing.
He don't bother me none.
I mean, he's a difficult young man to get a one-line on, if you know what I mean. And that's what makes it difficult.
Is this by way of saying you're gonna let him take the fall for this? The little druggie?
No, silly, that wasn't my point at all.
No, Sean.
Simon! Simon Khan!
Well, I figure either of you two could have actually blown Mrs. Lenowitz away. Old cons like you got ice water for blood. But young guys like Jimmy, they can be very impetuous.
I know.
I know you know.
You're silly! We'll beat this!
I know. That's why we do this.
And what's this?
We try and sneak in a little punishment before the court has a chance to decide that you don't deserve it on a technicality. Like you were born an incurable homo, or I didn't read you your rights Shakespeare perfect.
No one written my rights.
I don't read them to homos.
Then what you're doing here is a dreadful farce!
You want to talk Miranda and Escobar with me, Sean? Okay. You're entitled to an attorney, except you're not entitled to an attorney because you got blood on your hands and it stinks. Now this is my house, Sean. I make the rules. That's your warning. You have the right to be very careful around me, okay?
You're worse than silly. You're insane.
I'm tired. I stake a dry and cleaning establishment all day. My ass is sore. You and your friend treat me to an old woman, her head half off. I'm not used to shit like that, like you imagine I am. I get tired, edgy. You got any kids? No, you wouldn't, because you'd be in the same bed 50 years. I have to call you and say, Mr. Khan, your son, your daughter, just stiff somebody just like you. Got bail money? Hear the screams on the phone. Yours, Simon's. How old are you?
I am entitled to one phone call.
You know, we ain't gonna squeeze a fly turd out of this if you don't tell me what I can readily discern from your rap sheet.
I don't know why you're doing this. If you don't mind me saying so, you're silly. Everything you're doing is silly. The other detective in there will have Jimmy crying and signing anything he wants within 10 minutes. And you and I can sit here until you drop dead, officer. Which, frankly, doesn't look too far in distance.
41. You got no job at all, no profession, nothing. You gotta turn little old dry cleaners into a hamburger. What? Well, what are you? Talk.
I'm everything.
Name it.
I'm a teacher. In fact, I'm Jimmy's teacher.
What do you teach him?
The way of life.
What way of life?
Electric spiritualism.
Don't say. So you do like him, right? The kid?
Jimmy,
Too much to come right out here and pin a rap on him?
he's my son
No kidding.
and my daughter.
That sounds more like it. You've been in his pants then, right? That's the teaching part?
No, silly. I'm selling it.
Or a masturbate.
The things that detain you, officer, doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't concern me. Hard for you to believe I can understand that.
Me? Nah. I'll believe anything. I can appreciate your predatory streak, Sean. Stalk, catch, and move on like that. I've never been a long time attached to any of the garbage I put away. But for the moment, you're everything, baby. You're all I want.
I can see that.
A drink?
You drink on the job?
Sometimes, when I want to mellow out, when I understand everything perfectly, when I feel I can swallow one or two for a guiltless reward.
It's against the law. It's against the rules and regulations to drink on duty. You're armed.
Tell you what we're gonna do. In a little bit, I'm gonna come over there and beat the holy shit out of you. There's gonna be very little you can do to influence that decision. You can confess now, you can confess later. You tell me to fuck off, you tell me to kiss my ass. So before it gets unpleasant, which won't wholly be your fault, you can tell me, was it you or was it Jimmy Rosips who blasted Mrs. Lenowitz away? And then I'll be able to think while I'm tap dancing on your forehead. Hey, this is a killer, or hey, this is just an accomplice. I may be insane.
Listen, I don't want anything to happen to Jimmy. I don't want anything to happen to me.
Sure,
Protect him. Protect myself.
I follow.
That's all I wanted to say.
You wanted to say more, didn't you? One motherfucker off a lot more.
Maybe I did. Maybe I did.
Okay, in a little bit, I'm gonna beat you up because that's gonna make me feel better. And then we can get back to this nice talk.
Don't hit the face.
I never hit faces. I'm not sadistic.